All right, so let's talk about human factors. How would you describe hypoxia?
So hypoxia would be the lack of oxygen progressing through the cells of your body.
Yeah. So it's usually the primary cause of that for us as pilots.
The primary cause, altitude could be one, kind of the main one for us specifically.
Yeah. And I guess what's the term for that type of hypoxia?
That one would be not histo, not stagnant, hypoxic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And you just mentioned a couple other types. So what would be, there's three other ones. What would those be?
So we have hypemic, histotoxic, and stagnant.
Right. So stagnant hypoxia, what would be a cause of that?
So that one is, would be like pressure built up on like blood, essentially. The best way I would like describe it is like a G-lock. So there's like not enough blood that's like flowing through your body, like to your organs.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, G-lock would cause that. So if you've ever gotten close to, I guess, blacking out or anything. Another one would be heart failure. So you're not able to get blood.
Flowing through your organs.
Yep. To the rest of the body. So histotoxic, what would be an example or cause of that?
So that's like poisoning within your body. Like alcohol could be an example of that. So like there's cells flowing through, but they can't like your body can't use those cells because there's something blocking that.
Right. Yeah. You're basically not able to utilize oxygen, even though it's present. And then what's another example or last example of hypoxia?
Of hypemic hypoxia. So it's like anemic, pretty much. Just not enough blood being pushed through your body as you're like just moving around.
Yeah. So you're unable to transport it throughout your body. How would you describe hyperventilation?
So that one is the lack of carbon dioxide.
Yeah. So what usually causes that?
Over excessive like breathing could be one. So if you're just like, not breathing correctly, then you don't have enough of it to like counteract that.
So what would be a problem with flying while sick? So let's say you're congested, maybe you have a sinus infection or something. What would be, I guess, an issue doing that?
So with that, one, like you're sick, so I mean, you're not going to be paying attention as much. It's not that you're going to be thinking of like being sick. It's just more like there's like a lot of pressure inside of your head because of your sick, like your sinuses, your ears and whatnot. So as we climb altitude, like that pressure is building and like inside of your head, and it's going to just cause a lot of discomfort and probably some fatigue as well. So it's, yeah.
How would you describe spatial disorientation, or what would cause spatial disorientation?
So that one, it's like all of your senses are contradicting one another. So your eyes could see something, but your ears are telling you something else, or your touch or feel.
So what's the most common type of spatial disorientation?
So the most common type would be the leans. So your ears are telling you one thing, but you're actually doing another.
Right. And carbon monoxide poisoning, what usually causes carbon monoxide poisoning?
So that would be breathing in too much of like the exhaust within the plane. So if like you have your cabin heat open, that's like the hot air that's already being produced like above the exhaust itself for like the engine and the shroud. So breathing that in, if there's too much of it, or if there's like a leak of some kind within that shroud, like you could be breathing that in and it'll completely disrupt everything.
Yeah. So carbon monoxide, kind of correlating that with what we previously talked about, is actually a type of hypoxia. So what kind of hypoxia would carbon monoxide poisoning be?
So that would be hypemic.
Yep. So another issue, especially since we live close to the ocean, would be scuba diving and flying.
Yep.
So what are some things you need to keep in mind if you're going to be taking passengers that maybe went scuba diving or yourself?
So scuba diving, if it is not a controlled descent, if you're going to be flying above 8,000 So at least give yourself 12 hours. Sorry, if it's below 8,000, give yourself 12 hours. If it's controlled, if you're flying above 8,000, then give yourself 24 hours.
Right.
And if you're flying above 8,000, just give yourself 24 hours as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say it was somebody's birthday, you went out to celebrate, had some drinks last night, and you have a morning flight scheduled. Are you allowed to go fly that morning?
So that, give yourself 8 hours, pretty much. If you're under the 8 hours, probably not a good idea to go fly. Even if you had one drink, just don't even risk it. So you don't want to blow more than a 0.04.
Right. How about drugs? Are you allowed to do drugs?
No, you're not allowed.
And even over-the-counter stuff. So what are some considerations with over-the-counter medications?
So some medications, they can make you drowsy, even though they're over the counter. So like, I guess Tylenol or NyQuil, if you take it, same thing. Give yourself some time as well. 8 hours at least.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb. I mean, this applies to you anyway, is 5 times the dosage interval. So if it says take as needed every 4 hours,
Yeah,
that's the interval, 4 hours. So 5 times 4.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll finish up with hazardous attitudes. So are you familiar with the 5 hazardous attitudes? Rather than name them all, which one of those do you feel applies to you the most?
Possibly the macho one, I want to say.
Yeah. So what are some ways that you can counter that? Or what's the anecdote for that?
I guess it could happen to anybody. Or like, just don't do it. Just tell myself like, it's okay, we can fly another day.
Yeah.
We don't have to get it done right now. I'm not that guy to want to just go do it at this very second. We have time.
So that wraps it up.
All right.